Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris and we are gathered here tonight for a little hot seat head-to-head. And I am beyond tickled pink, purple, and blue over this. I am joined as always by my good friend Mr. Mike. Mike, my friend, how you doing? What are you drinking?
Chris, I am doing good. I had a funny moment at work today. Since you were talking about work just before we started recording, this popped into my head. I thought it'd be a funny story to tell. So, one of my coworkers was actually going in to give a presentation, and I asked her how she was feeling, and she said, "I hope." It was almost verbatim, and she said, "I hope they go easy on me. I'm really nervous and have no idea what I'm doing." And for a brief moment, I had to catch myself because my instinct was to immediately go title of your sex tape, but I didn't do it.
Thank you for not doing that.
Yes, I like being employed.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, let's not get an HR violation today.
Exactly. As far as what I am drinking is concerned, I picked. This will be my first time popping one of these open. It is from Oyster City Brewing Company in Mobile, Alabama. So basically, opposite end of the state for me. It is a Mill Pond Blonde Ale, is what it's called. Starting to get into the warm summer months. Not quite summer yet, but I thought this sounded refreshing.
It sounds refreshing.
Yep, that is exactly what you want when you pick up a blonde ale. I'm going to enjoy that.
That does sound good. You know what else sounds good? Hanging out with my good friend, Miss Carmela Smith. Carmela, my friend, how you doing? What are you drinking?
I'm doing pretty good. And today I am drinking. So we're, in Florida. We're at one end of the East Coast. This is a brewing company on the other end of the East Coast in Portland, Maine. This is Peak Organic Brewing, and this is Sweet Tarts Maine Blueberry Sour Ale. Because I'm still drinking sours for some reason. And it's pretty good.
It's a very colorful can.
It is. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
I did buy it because the can was pretty, and I was like, well, as a sour, I'm going to like it. So
I buy a lot of mine because of the labels, because I collect them, so I get it.
Yeah. So I keep a little stash of like interesting looking beers in my refrigerator just for when I come on to PTE shows.
I love it.
Yep.
I don't think we promote alcoholism, but we
No. I don't think you do either.
But I love the fact that people are like, oh, I want to save this for a recording. Like that's become a thing.
No, Chris, if anything, it's the opposite for me, because sometimes I'll reach for a beer and I'm not recording. I'll go, nope, I'm not going to have that. I'm going to wait for a recording.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, honestly, because I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to record, I don't know, one of the shows on your network. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I should save that for when I go on Skillet Brew or when I go and hang out with Jay on Verboten. And because every time you guys add a new show to the network, I have to go on it.
Now, Chris, what about you, sir?
Well, before we do that, Carmela, just in case there's a listener out here who doesn't know who you are, go ahead and tell our listeners where they can find you.
Sure. I am one of the hosts of Trivial Warfare. We are a pub trivia style podcast. So if you like listening to Pub Trivia Experience, chances are you will like listening to us. I am also the host of Foreplay, and that's for like the number. Get your mind out of the gutter. But it is a connections show where we give 4 sets of 4 clues. There's connections for you to find. If you've ever played Connections for the New York Times, chances are you will enjoy that show as well. And I have another project in the works, non-trivia related, that we can talk about later on.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I guess it is my turn. From Motorworks Brewing, this is their adoptable lager. So this can is made to promote Adopt, Don't Shop. A little new puppy dog on the front. That dog's by the name. That dog's name is McMuffin, and it's adoptable through the Manatee County Animal Services.
Okay.
Hopefully not anymore. I don't know how old this can is, but hopefully they're not there anymore.
Oh, I love it.
McMuffin's a great name for a dog.
It's right.
Definitely.
This is a golden lager. I bought a 6-pack. I've got 2 here. I've got 2 downstairs, and I drank 2 the other night. So
now, does each of them have a different dog on the label?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, I was just curious.
This one's got McMuffin on it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe like different 6-packs have different dogs. That would make sense.
Yep.
Or they do like a dog of the month kind of deal.
Yep.
Oh, dog of the month. All right, well, we are going to start with our pregame. I'm going to go ahead and read your pregame topic, then I'll let Carmela choose if she wants the odds or the evens question. Your pregame category is sports. From the years 2010 through 2019, which of the states that I list for you had more 5-star high school football recruits according to 24/7 Sports?
Oh gosh.
So it's a cumulative of 10 years worth of data. I will name 2 states. You just got to tell me which one of those states had more of the 5-star labeled recruits. Carmela, odds or evens?
I don't know how good it's going to be because I'm really bad at sports, but I'll pick odds because I'm quite odd.
To be fair, I wrote this because I know for a fact Mike does not follow college football recruiting. He might watch college football. He doesn't follow recruiting at all. So this
Nope.
is pretty
Gotcha.
even.
Not at all.
All right. So you're going to pick the odds. Carmela, you're going to get us started. Which of these states had more 5-star recruits? Would it be Washington or Oregon?
I'm going to say Washington.
Starting off early with the point, Washington in that 10-year period had 7 5-stars. Oregon only had 2. All right, Mike, going over to you for question number 2. Your 2 states are Kentucky or Tennessee.
Ooh, that's harder. That's way harder.
That's a good one. Well, he's given adjacent states.
Yeah.
Honestly, at least in my experience, Kentucky's a little bit more of a basketball state, so I'm going to say Tennessee.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mike's getting the points there. Tennessee had 6. Kentucky had 2.
Yeah.
All right, Carmela, back over to you.
Okay.
Illinois or Indiana?
Oh, again, that whole basketball question, because that's what I associate with Indiana. I'm going to say Illinois.
Carmela, you're 2 for 2. Illinois had 4. Indiana had 3. Mike, we're going over to you next. Is it Florida or Texas?
So here's the thing about this is I feel like everyone's instinct would be to say Texas. And that's why I'm wondering these guys, it would not surprise me at all if these states are 1 and 2. So I'm kind of just debating whether to go based on like population or something like that. You know what? I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to say Texas.
Oh, no, Mike. It's Florida.
It did fall off the
Florida
trap. Okay.
had
Yeah.
59 5-star recruits. Texas had 45.
Okay.
Yeah, so they probably are 1 and 2 because if Texas was up against anybody else, any other state, we would have said Texas.
Right.
Texas was actually closer to California than it was to Florida, but it
really?
wasn't Florida. Yeah, I think California had 37 or 38.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I figured California was right up there too. It's just the biggest
population-wise.
Yep.
Yeah.
The greater Miami-Dade area is the hotbed of high school football.
I don't doubt that at all. I really don't.
I can see that.
All right, Carmela, we're back over to you. Question number 5, Virginia or Alabama?
Okay. So do most people who play for Alabama, are they from Alabama? Probably. I'm going to say Alabama.
Virginia with 14, Alabama with 17.
Oh wow.
You're getting the point.
Yes.
I would have gone Virginia because Alabama does import a lot.
Yeah, that was my only thing. I'm like, do people who play for, Alabama State and Auburn, are they actually from Alabama?
Right. I'm
Mike.
so telling all my coworkers tomorrow that you referred to Alabama State instead of the University of Alabama.
Oh, well, you know what I meant. You know what I meant? I'm so sorry, Sarah.
That's what makes it even better.
Mike, you're going to get Mississippi or Louisiana.
Okay. It's really funny in my head. I'm like, I bet he's going to go Mississippi and Louisiana next for whatever reason. Let's see. I think I am going to go. Gosh, I mean, they got to be again. They got to be neck and neck. I'm going to just shoot from the hip. I'll say Mississippi.
Mississippi had 9, Louisiana 14. Carmela, we're back over to you. Question number 7, Rhode Island or Connecticut?
Oh, two tiny, tiny states. Okay. So I know that Rhode Island only has 3 counties in the entire state, which is insane to me. So it's very small. Connecticut's not much better. Oh, man, if you told me that I was going to have 3 points on a sports round out of 3 questions that were asked and I got them all right, and then you gave me this fourth one, I would have said you were crazy. But is this a trap because Rhode Island is so small? I'm going to say it's Connecticut. The numbers can't be that high. But
Well, Rhode Island had 0.
Okay.
Connecticut
Fair.
had 1.
Yeah. I figured neither one's had to have a whole lot.
Yeah, they probably neither one's gonna be high, but I was not expecting 0 out of Rhode Island, but
It's fair.
So you got the point there, Carmela. I'm not going to say what's happening right now, but you know what's happening right now.
I do know what's happening, and I honestly still can't believe it.
Mike, we're going to go over to you. Question number 8: Ohio or Pennsylvania?
Ooh, that's a really good. That's a really good one. And the 50-50-90 rule is really kicking my butt so far. I'm just going to go. I'm going to go straight on population, and I think Pennsylvania has a slightly higher population, so I'll say Pennsylvania.
Ohio has had 8. Pennsylvania had 9. Pennsylvania's the correct answer. Nicely done.
My gut was Ohio on that, so I would have gotten that wrong.
Let's see how your gut's treating you here, Carmela. Question number 9: West Virginia or Nevada?
Ooh. Okay, so that's very difficult for me. I mean, Nevada's big in comparison to West Virginia as far as land size, but do more people live there? And obviously, I know there's more things to do in West Virginia than coal mine, but I'm like, it's either play football or go work in the mines.
There's always meth.
Or maybe I just have a Scott Barber bias, which is honestly probably true. I'm gonna say West Virginia.
West Virginia had 1. Nevada had 2.
Ooh.
So, Carmela, you're going to finish the pregame with 4 points. Mike, you currently have 2. Let's see if we can get you to 3. Arkansas or Arizona?
Let's see. So Arizona is more populous, but Arkansas is an SEC state. So I'm going to say Arkansas.
Arkansas had 1.
Oof.
Arizona had 6.
Yeah, ouch.
SEC bias bit you in the ass there.
Yep.
All right, coming out of our pregame round, Carmela, you have got a 4-2 lead. That means, Mike, you get to choose first or second in hot seat round 1.
I will go first.
All right. Carmela, after 15 minutes, if we are an odd number of questions, we will even it up.
Okay.
Your time will begin after I read your first question. Mike, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Darkness isn't quite where we begin.
And things, I don't know. Soren, I think things are going to get really bad.
Welcome, dearest listeners, to Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire. I am your occasionally humble game master, Asteria, but you will come to know me by many names.
I spoke to the Queen of Rain. She gave me a task.
This town loves the Queen of Heroes, but they are afraid of me.
Our gift, poetry, is a beautiful thing and a necessary thing, directly from the two queens themselves. But it makes us alien to our own kin.
But we make this decision not for us, but for the entire world, for all of Lacuna.
What would you do to loan him your splendor?
Perhaps my experience a little in love with death.
Daggerheart is a brand new system published by Darrington Press. The central mechanic in Daggerheart is rolling 2d12, their duality dice.
That is 17 with hope.
Take another hope, and now you're at max. Our two queens were sometimes called the Queens of Hope. I wondered, as opposed to what?
He feels something he has truly never felt. And that is deep, deep fear.
16 with fear.
16 succeeds. I will, of course, take a fear token.
Why were they banished? Why did the Queens of Hope banish the others?
Of course, as hope needs fear, so our heroes need adversaries. But you're not as confused as you are to be.
And you're not as dead as you ought to be.
I really don't know what to do. Maybe you're tricking me? Or appealing to my ego? To get what you want.
Well, you're very clever. What is it you think I want?
All they did was in your name. Were they wrong?
Your Majesty, if our fear has made us seem like we...
Fear. Stop, please. I would have adored your fear. You brought me your own pristine hopes and stabbed them at me. Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire, a Daggerheart actual play podcast from Hag Deal Gaming.
Here we go. Mike, in the iconic film The Sound of Music, it's set in which Austrian city?
Ooh. I was like, I could have given you Austria. Gosh, it has been so long since I have seen that. I'll say Vienna. It's not right.
No, unfortunately it's in Salzburg. Carmela.
Salzburg. That's right. Damn it. I was hoping you were going to be like, what were the hills alive with?
Carmela, going over to you. After going beyond the edge of reason, what literary and film character was having a baby in 2016?
Bridget Jones.
Bridget Jones is correct. Mike, what was the name of the little boy who surprisingly liked Life cereal in the classic commercial?
You're going to ask me this? It was Mikey.
Mikey is correct. Hey, it's luck of the draw here.
Oh, no, I know.
Carmela, what novel from William Gibson is the only novel to win a Hugo Award, a Philip K. Dick Award, and a Nebula Award?
Oh, it's not right. Snow Crash.
Oh no, that'd be Neuromancer.
Neuromancer. That was the one I was thinking of.
I was sitting here going, don't fall prey to the thing that I did where I said necromancer one time when asked a question about that book. I was like, oh, damn it.
Mike, it's not in Seattle, but in what U.S. city would you find the world's largest Starbucks?
Ooh. What a great question. I don't know. Los Angeles.
Oh, not a bad guess. It's actually in Chicago and can confirm it's awesome.
Sweet.
Carmela, Jean Valjean and Javert are the main characters in which musical?
Les Miserables.
Les Mis is a correct answer. Mike, what is the lightest element on the periodic table?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen's a correct answer. Carmela, known as Seward's Folly, the United States purchased Alaska from which country?
Russia.
Russia is a correct answer. Mike, the Amanda Bynes film She's the Man is loosely based on which Shakespeare play?
12th Night?
12th Night is correct.
Like, it's my favorite one.
What's your favorite Amanda Bynes film too?
I do love that. I do love that play.
Carmela, what is the largest of the woodwind instruments?
Oh, a bassoon.
The answer I have here is a pipe organ.
Pipe organ. Okay.
That actually, yeah.
Mike,
Bigger than a bassoon.
what generically named musical group had songs such as The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, Acadian Driftwood, and perhaps most famously, The Wait?
The Band.
The Band is what I'm looking for. Carmela, for the answer, by the way, The Band is the name of that band. All right, Carmela.
Yeah, no, when you said The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, I'm like, oh, I know what this is.
I
It's hilarious.
Yeah, same.
Carmela, according to the lyrics of the 1973 hit song, Jim Croce wishes he, quote, could save what in a bottle?
Oh, all I can think of is lightning in a bottle, but I don't think that's it. But I'll just say lightning.
Unfortunately, he wishes he could save time in a bottle.
Time in a bottle.
If
Yeah.
I could save time in a bottle.
Mike, Blue Ivy is the first child from what power couple?
I know this one.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Beyonce and Jay-Z is correct. Carmela, heading back over to you. In the Christmas Carol Frosty the Snowman, what is Frosty's nose made out of?
And a button nose.
It is a button nose. You did not fall for the carrot trap. Nice.
I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, corn cob and a button nose. Yeah, it's a button.
Mike, within 3 either way, in what year did Babe Ruth slug 60 home runs?
1927.
1927 on the nose is correct. Carmela. Actor Richard Green starred as which outlaw in a long-running TV series that shares a name with a classic Disney film and a Russell Crowe box office bomb?
Oh God. I don't know. Gladiator. It's not right.
Oh, no, this would be Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Okay.
Oh, I was like Cinderella Man, something like that.
Yeah.
Mike, Diwali, Dussehra, and Holi are religious days in which religion?
Hinduism.
Hinduism is correct. Carmela. Which NBC logo was introduced in 1956 to highlight the network's colorful programming?
The peacock.
That would be the peacock. Mike, heading back over to you here. In the D.H. Lawrence novel Lady Chatterley's Lover, who is Lady Chatterley's lover? Is it the bursar, the chimney sweep, or the gamekeeper?
Ooh. This is not the D.H. Lawrence novel that I've read. I'm going to say the gamekeeper.
Gamekeeper is a correct answer. Carmela, which cheap footwear made of a soft, semi-transparent PVC material, frequently infused with glitter, became a fad in the early 80s?
Jelly shoes.
Jelly shoes is correct. Mike.
My kids still have some, so.
Mike, claret wine, C-L-A-R-E-T, come from which region of France?
Ooh. I'm sure the claret region would be too obvious. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank on regions of France. Alsace.
No, unfortunately, it's the Bordeaux region of
The
France.
Bordeaux region. Oh,
I
gosh,
would have said
should guessed
Burgundy.
Carmela, what is at the center of the Milky Way galaxy?
Supermassive black hole.
Black hole sun. That is a correct answer. Mike, what company is still around today is credited with inventing jeans?
Levi?
Levi Strauss is a correct answer. Carmela, Nicole Scherzinger is was the lead singer of what girl band?
The Pussycat Dolls.
It's the Pussycat Dolls. I think I think she got nominated for a Tony for something she's on right now.
She's Mulholland Drive.
Is it Mulholland Drive or is it Sunset something?
It might be
Sunset Boulevard?
Sunset. I
Could be
think Sunset Boulevard.
it's one of those.
Although
I would
I
watch
want
the
to.
musical of Mulholland Drive though.
They-
Oh my god!
Same. Very, very, very random tidbit about Nicole Scherzinger, but one of her first times being on a recording was on a Days of the New album as backing vocals.
Oh, wow.
If anyone remembers Days of the New.
Mike, here's your question. What pop singer debuted as a backup singer on Days? Never mind. Mike, what metal is used to make the filament of an incandescent light bulb?
Tungsten?
Tungsten's correct. Carmela, which two musicians collaborated on Another Way to Die, the theme song to 2008's 007, The Quantum of Solace?
Oh, God, I don't remember. Rob Thomas and Santana.
No, but this is an equally odd pairing. Alicia Keys and Jack White.
I knew it was Jack White and somebody. I could not pull
okay.
Alicia Keys.
Mike,
Jack White's always doing something weird.
Yeah, exactly.
which European country is unique for having enough nuclear fallout shelters to accommodate its entire population?
Ukraine?
No, it'd be Switzerland.
Oh, interesting.
Carmela,
Okay.
what country in the Horn of Africa has the hottest average annual temperature in the world?
Oh, I don't remember which ones are in the Horn. Ethiopia.
Ethiopia is a correct answer.
Nice job.
Woo.
Mike, in what decade did a ball burst in consecutive years during the FA Cup finals?
In what decade
Yep.
did it ball? I have no idea. 1970s.
It was the 1940s, 46 and 47.
Huh. Okay.
Carmela, Which one of the members of the 90s pop group Take That claims to have seen UFOs?
I don't remember who was in Take That.
I can only name one.
Chris Martin.
Unfortunately, Mike, it's the one that you can name. It's Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams.
Robbie
yeah.
Williams. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Mike, in the Jungle Book stories by Rudyard Kipling, what type of animal is Ka?
Ka is a snake, or you need more specific?
I'll take a snake. It's a python. But
Python.
Python,
I was
yeah.
going to say python, but I was like, I'll start with snake.
You're a programmer. I assume you know Python. Carmela, we're going back
Touché.
over to you. Not just a 1972 film starring Lisa Lovelace, the actual Deep Throat was tied to what scandal?
Watergate.
Watergate's the correct answer. Mike. Who featured on Ariana Grande's single Problem?
No idea. I don't know. Pitbull featured on everything, so I'll say Pitbull.
No, it'd be Iggy Azalea. Carmela,
okay.
what is the densest planet in our solar system?
Densest. Well, Saturn is low density. It could actually float on a bucket of water if you can find one big enough. I'm gonna say Jupiter.
No, it's actually Earth.
Oh, that makes sense.
I thought it might be Earth. I wasn't sure. But...
Mike, within 3 years, either way, name the year these events took place. Scientists campaigned to end the use of ozone-damaging CFCs. The Terracotta Army is discovered in China, and the Universal Product Code is scanned for the first time.
1974.
74 on the nose. Nicely done. Carmela. Oh my God. In which Indian city was the famous Black Hole Dungeon?
I don't.
Black Hole Dungeon.
I can't name a single city. Punjab.
Unfortunately not. This would be Calcutta.
Calcutta. Okay.
Isn't it the worst when you're just reaching for something? You're like, I know under normal circumstances I could name like a dozen, but all of a sudden there's nothing there.
And I'm pretty sure I messed up the name of the city I was thinking of. I might be thinking of the Punjabi region, but
Mike,
You're
what
good.
does a polyandric woman have more than one of?
Polyandric. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of something that's not something you would normally have more than one of. I mean, I got to go there. Vagina.
Unfortunately not. This is the female version of polygamy. It's more than one spouse.
yeah.
Oh, I've heard of fucking polyandry. I've just never heard it expressed. Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it was right there.
Andro instead of gyno.
Yeah. As soon as I heard it, I definitely heard that term before.
Carmela, name the process by which plants make their food.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis is correct. Mike, which Vanity Fair photographer known for her famous celebrity portraits was designated a living legend by the Library of Congress in the year 2000?
Annie Leibovitz.
Annie Leibovitz is correct. Carmela, cartoonist Gary Larson once made up a cartoon about a fear that what type of bird was watching you?
Oh my gosh. Was it a pigeon?
No, it
Probably
wasn't.
not.
It's a duck, isn't it?
It's a duck.
Yeah.
Duck.
I'm sorry.
He
I didn't know
loved
if it was a pigeon as an
ducks.
answer.
Yeah, he did. I'm just like, I can't remember.
Mike, we're heading over to you. Which actor's first starring role was in the 1958 film The Blob?
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen's a correct answer. Carmela, within 5 years either way, in what year was Hong Kong control turned back over to China?
1998.
That is within 5. It's 1997. Mike. Johnny Depp notably modeled Jack Sparrow, his memorable character from Pirates of the Caribbean, after which guitarist?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards is correct. Carmela, what 1980 video game was the first to feature an Easter egg?
Joust.
Oh, it is a single name video game. It would be the video game Adventure.
Adventure.
All right. And that brings us to the end of Hot Seat Round 1. Mike, you picked up 15. Carmela, you're picking up 12.
You did
Good
really
round.
good.
Good round.
That means, Mike, you have taken over a lead. It's currently 17-16, going into our halftime round. Your halftime round's worth 20 points. This is going to be hopefully a little bit fun, but
Always.
your category is geography.
I take it back.
This one's gettable. It's okay.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm looking for 5 answers here. Aside from South Africa, there are 5 countries that have a direction in their name, at least the way we colloquially speak of them in the United States. For 4 points each, name the other 5 countries. Lock in when you're ready.
All right, I'll lock in.
All right, I'm done. I'm locked in.
All right, Mike, we'll start with you. What's the first one on your list?
North Korea.
Carmela, did you have North Korea?
I do.
North Korea is a correct answer. You're just going to pick up 4 points there. Carmela, what's next on your list?
Oddly enough, I did not write the other Korea. I wrote South Sudan before I wrote South Korea.
Mike, you have South Sudan on your list.
I did eventually get to South Sudan, yes.
You're both 2 for 2. Mike, what's next on yours?
Next on mine is South Korea.
Carmela, you have South Korea?
I do.
Good. So the 4 easy ones are out, or the 3 easy ones are out, 4 if you count South Africa. You got 2 left. Carmela, what's next on your list?
I said Northern Ireland.
Ooh.
Mike, did you have Northern Ireland?
I did not. I mean, Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom, but it's
They're
kind
still
of
technically their own.
it's still
country.
technically their own country. So I think I didn't have it, but I don't think it's on your list either.
It's not on my list, so I need to just look at it. But I do believe she's right. I believe it is its own separate country, but it's just part of the United Kingdom.
That's a good pull. I did not think of that one.
Yeah. No, it's not like a north, south, east, west. It's northern. I don't know if that means anything, but
You could argue it, but
yeah.
It has been variously described as both a country, a province, or a region. I guess I want to look and see what the government looks like. That might help. The government of Northern Ireland cooperates with the government of Ireland in several areas. Okay.
Do they have a prime minister or a president?
That's what I'm looking for. It's got sovereign state, legal jurisdiction. It has a monarch. I'm going to give you credit for it, Carmela.
Woo!
nice.
I did not have that on the list, but I'm going to give you the credit. Mike, what did you have next on your list?
So as you said, the three easy ones. I think is there a North Macedonia?
Carmela, did you have North Macedonia?
That was the one I'm like, I think I remember something happening with Macedonia, and that was the last one I wrote down. I wrote down North Macedonia.
All right, North Macedonia is a correct answer. So
I was right.
So with 5 possible correct answers, Carmela has 5 answers already through 4 questions.
Yep.
Carmela, are you tapped at that one? That was your last one.
That was my 5th one. Yeah.
Mike, what's the last one you have?
Isn't there an East Timor?
You sons of bitches! I thought I had a good question here.
It's a great question.
Timor
That was my
good
last
answer.
one. I pulled it at the last second. Is that right?
It is. East
can't believe I
Timor
got
is
all 5.
correct.
Woo.
So you're each going to get 20 points. Nicely done.
That was a great question, though. It really
I know,
was.
that was great. As I had to sit there and think about it, I'm like, oh shit.
It's funny because I kept pulling on West for some reason instead of East, and finally when I got to East, I was like, wait a minute, I think there's an East Timor.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's go through all the norths I know. Let's go through
Yep.
all the souths I know.
Yep, exactly.
Nicely done to both of you. I almost said all of you, but to both of you.
Both of us.
So you're both going to get 20 points. Mike, you're still going to have a 1-point lead. It's 37-36. Mike's grabbing another beer. While he does that, I'm going to go ahead and pop my second.
Woo.
I can't remember the last time I had 2 beers in one recording, but this stuff is good and it's very.
You're just
very
having
fun.
a good time.
Well, you're having a lager and I've got a blonde, so they go down fairly.
Yeah, they
You
go
consider
super
Nikki
fast.
a blonde? Like blonde brunette?
She does have blonde highlights in her hair right now. So
There you go. Well, Mike, what'd you grab?
same thing. Another Oyster City Mill Pond Blonde Ale.
Well, cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
All right. I'm going to get 15 more minutes on the clock. And Carmela, you are now trailing by 1. Do you want odds or evens in Hot Seat Part 2?
You know what? Let's switch it up. Let's go odd for me. So I'll go first.
All right. Well, your time will begin after I read your first question. Here we go. Carmela, the film director Frank Capra is famous for It's a Wonderful Life, but he was actually born in which Mediterranean country?
Greece.
Oh, unfortunately, Italy is what we're looking for. Mike, what was the first planet discovered using a telescope?
I should have gotten evens.
Ooh. Let's see. I mean, there are planets that are visible in the sky without a telescope, but would you know they were planets if you didn't have a telescope? I'm wondering if that's like a technique. I honestly do not know. I will go with, for whatever reason, my first gut said Saturn.
Unfortunately, not Mike. I need a telescope to find Uranus.
Uranus. William Herschel. All the other ones were known since antiquity.
Yep.
For some reason, I thought Neptune was discovered before Uranus. That's why I didn't.
No.
Okay.
Carmela, what were the first names of the Wright brothers?
Orville and Wilbur.
Orville and Wilbur is correct. Mike, a duet by Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney reached number 1 in 1982. Name that song.
Ebony and Ivory.
There's a reason you don't sing it, Mike.
Yep.
Ebony and Ivory is correct. Carmela, heading over to you. Sam Hornish Jr. won the Indianapolis 500 in 2006 by .065 of a second by pulling ahead of which competitor in the final straightaway? If you get this right, I'm finishing my beer.
It's Danica Patrick.
No, Mario Andretti. Thank God.
Yes.
That's what I would have said. So like, I almost made a joke. I was like, well, if he said that, it's clearly not Mario Andretti.
Mike, Bruce Springsteen's album The Ghost of Tom Joad references the main character of what classic novel?
The Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes of Wrath is correct.
I should have gotten your questions.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
I'm like, I know all these.
Carmela, what comedian's production company is named Happy Madison, a play on the title of 2 of his films?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler is correct. Mike, the video game and movie Happy Feet features which animal?
Penguin.
Penguins is correct.
Was it a video game?
Way, yes, there was a video game.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There is a short out there. Watch the Graham Norton show when he's interviewing Benedict Cumberbatch about how he says the word penguin.
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 Penguin. He just, I don't know how he did it. I'm like, obviously he knows how to say the word penguin, but it just like descends into madness. I'm like, how did you fuck this up so badly?
I love the Graham Norton show.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets these like celebrities to go some of the places they go.
Oh, but it's so wonderful.
It's what it is. It is absolutely.
It's really funny.
Carmela, we're heading back over to you. How many U.S. presidents have had sons who also served as U.S. president?
2.
2 is the correct answer. Mike.
1 had a grandson.
True.
Mike, complete the list of the 4 main islands of Japan. Kyushu, Shikoku, Hokkaido, and what?
Honshu.
Honshu is correct. Carmela, what type of galaxy is the Milky Way galaxy? You're getting like all these.
Yeah, I got all the space ones somehow, except for the Uranus one. It is a spiral galaxy.
It is a spiral galaxy. Mike, what 1975 film became the first film to cross the $100 million domestic threshold? The $100 million threshold in general.
I'm guessing it's Jaws.
If it's not Jaws, I am eating this boat. Carmela, with 10 nominations, which of these movies had the most Oscar noms? Braveheart, Crash, or Moonlight?
Moonlight.
No, that was Braveheart. Mike, going by her stage name, what would Alicia Moore's favorite color be?
Pink.
Pink is a correct answer.
I was trying to think of a joke and I didn't have anything, but yeah, just pink.
Carmela, in the Star Trek universe, what color is Spock's blood?
He's a green-blooded hobgoblin.
Is that really what they call him?
It's an insult that that McCoy throws at him at one point.
Love it.
Green is a correct answer. Mike,
I would have totally guessed it right, but I've never heard that before. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
the Greek term orchesis, Orchesis, is the art of what? Either professional or amateur.
Orchesis. Either professional or amateur. I mean, can I get a reread real quick? You don't have to spell it again.
The Greek term orchesis, Orchesis, is the art of what? Either as a professional or an amateur.
He did say art of what? I mean, it just leads me to orchestra. So, playing an instrument. I really don't know.
Oh, you're close. It's the art of dancing.
Oh, okay.
Carmela, we're going to head over to you. Left and right shark were central figures in what performer's Super Bowl halftime show?
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry is correct.
I think you almost killed Mike.
Does anyone remember Right Shark though? I mean, it was
no
all
one
about
remembers
Left
Right Shark. Justice for Right Shark.
Mike, Major League Baseball's Toronto Blue Jays has a home of the Rogers Center. It opened in 1989. It's called the Sky Dome. This stadium had what specific feature that was the first in a major sporting arena?
A retractable dome?
Retractable roof is a correct answer. Carmela. The phrase laces out was made popular in what 1994 film?
Oh, League of Their Own. It's wrong, but it's also the wrong sport. It's a football movie, and I don't remember.
It is kind of a football movie.
Kind of.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yep.
I watched that movie an absurd amount of times, so I was in the perfect age demographic for it.
Miami Dolphins.
Mike, what notorious punk rocker was born John Simon Ritchie?
Johnny Rotten?
No, that'd be Sid Vicious.
Oh, shit.
Carmela,
even more notorious. Okay.
Which American artist's large paintings of flowers made her famous?
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Definitely paintings of flowers, y'all.
Yeah, no, it's totally flowers. I mean, what is a flower but nature's vagina? It's not wrong.
You're not wrong.
It is a plant vagina.
Carmela's just dropping potential episode titles left and right in this round. I feel like.
I'm good for a soundbite or two.
Oh my God, you're good for a damn good laugh.
Absolutely.
Mike, what university lists its official colors as Madonna blue and papal gold? Papal gold.
Madonna blue and
Oh.
papal gold. I mean, I'm guessing it's a Catholic university. Those don't sound like the colors of Notre Dame, but I'm gonna say Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is a correct answer.
I was like, it's got to be Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Carmela, what popular airline and also the namesake of a short-lived television show finally collapsed in 1991?
Oh, Pan Am.
Pan Am is a correct answer. And can anyone guess why I wrote that question? That show featured Christina Ricci.
Yeah,
I
right.
do remember it was about the flight attendants.
Yep.
It didn't have Margot Robbie in it too.
I think so, but that wasn't
Like in
why
a
I
very
watched.
early role.
Yeah, I think it was. I almost said TWA, which was the name of an airline, but I'm like, no, I'm thinking about Trivial Warfare, and that's not right.
Hey, that's always right.
I
Mike,
appreciate it.
Lady Godiva rode naked on horseback through what city to protest taxes?
Ooh. All my brain is doing is going Lady Godiva, even though it's not even the lyrics. I really should know this, but I do not. I'm going to pass.
They beat Coventry.
Yeah, wouldn't get that.
Carmela, the 1982 action film First Blood was the first film to feature what fictional character?
John Rambo.
John Rambo is correct. Mike.
And it would have been the last if they'd gone with the original ending.
Who wore a live snake around his neck to sing the song School's Out at his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction in 2011?
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper is correct. Carmela, what country introduced the world's first diesel loco in 1912? Diesel locomotive, I'm assuming.
England.
Oh, it'd be Germany.
Germany. That makes sense.
Mike, other than Michael, name 3 of the brothers who originally made up the Jackson 5.
You said 3?
Yep.
Tito, Marlon, and Jermaine.
Tito, Marlon, and Jermaine are correct. The other one is?
Jackie.
All right. Carmela, we're heading back over to you.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the battle in the Pacific fought between the U.S. Navy and the Imperial Japanese Navy that happened in June of 1942?
Midway.
Battle of the Midway is correct. Mike, who was the lead singer of the punk rock and new wave band Blondie?
Deborah Harry.
Debbie Harry is correct. Carmela, blood, navel, and Valencia are all types of what fruit?
Man, if I get this wrong, they're going to kick me out of the States. Oranges.
Oranges is correct. Mike, if you say, quote, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, you are paying a compliment to whose invention?
Golly, I've never actually given any thought to who invented sliced bread. He invented a ton of shit. I'll say Benjamin Franklin.
No, it'd be Otto Roweeder.
Oh, I would have gone with the Earl of Sandwich.
There you go. That's right.
Carmela, who wrote the epic poem The Odyssey?
Homer.
Homer is the correct answer. Mike,
did he write it, though? Anyway.
It got written down.
Fair enough.
Mike, more often than not, what planet is the brightest in our night sky?
Venus.
Venus is a correct answer.
I
Carmela.
was just laughing because I think I said that earlier.
Carmela, which deceased author's favorite gin mill in Cuba has a life-size bronze statue of him leaning against the bar?
Ernest Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway is a correct answer. I want to go to that bar.
If it's not Hemingway, I don't know who it would be.
I was going to say, if it's not Hemingway, I'm finishing my beer.
Mike, with which queen was Julius Caesar involved?
I don't think it's right, but Cleopatra?
Cleopatra is right.
Okay.
That's right.
Carmela, what is the name of the cat that guards 10 Downing Street?
I don't know. What's a good English cat name? Muffin.
If it was McMuffin, it'd be Irish, right?
Right, exactly.
No, the cat's name is Larry. Mike.
Larry.
I wasn't sure if you were like a cat, like a swinging cat, like Sammy Davis Jr. would say, or something like that. Who's the cat who guards 10 Downing Street?
Who sits on the stoop? 10 Downing Street's in the Bronx, right?
Just down the street from Yankee Stadium, Mike.
That's right.
Also known as a dolphin fish, although it has no relation to flipper, what tasty ocean dweller has a name that means strong in Hawaiian?
Mahi Mahi?
Mahi Mahi is correct.
Yeah. It's one with the two names.
Right, exactly.
Carmela, actor Jim Carrey first made a name for himself on what Keenan Ivory Wayne's sketch comedy show?
It's still, in my opinion, the best sketch comedy show
so
of all
good.
time. In Living Color.
In Living Color is correct. And that brings us to the end of the round, and that means we have one last question for Mike. Mike, opening in 1890 in London was the first type of what form of electric transportation?
Subway?
A subway or an underground railway is a correct answer.
Good job.
And that round was close again. Mike, you got a slight lead there. It is 15-14 out of Hot Seat round 2.
Another good round.
I think you're 2 ahead of me now.
Yeah, the wager round is it all comes down to the wager round.
Your scores going into your wager round. Mike's got 52. Carmela's got 50. It's anybody's game. Here's how your wager round works. I am going to read 3 category names. You can wager your points however, in any which way, shape, or form you want on those 3 categories. If you get the question right, though, you will get the points. If you get the question wrong, you will lose the points. The caveats are this. You must wager whole numbers only, and your total combined wager going into the wager round cannot exceed the amount of points that you currently have. Are you ready for your wager round categories?
Yep.
Your categories are geography, sports, and musicals. Geography, sports, and musicals. Lock in your wagers now. All right, wagers are locked in. Let's go through this question by question. Category number 1, question number 1, your category was in geography. What country, named for a Venezuelan leader during the Spanish-American Wars for Independence, is the largest landlocked country in the Southern Hemisphere?
I will lock in.
Also locked in.
All right, moving on to question number 2. Your category is sports. With an impressive professional record of 107, 6-2 with 86 knockouts, what boxer, nicknamed JC Superstar and El Leon de Calicon, who competed as a super featherweight, lightweight, light welterweight, and welterweight, has the most wins among Mexican athletes in the International Boxing Hall of Fame? Any resemblance to an American labor leader is purely coincidental.
I'll lock in.
I will lock in.
All right. Question number 3, your category was musicals. The songs 3090, Johnny Can't Decide, Therapy, and Louder Than Words are all found in what musical by Jonathan Larson of Rent fame, presented as a film in 2021 starring Andrew Garfield and directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda? There was no evidence to suggest the musical was an inspiration of any kind for the Swedish rock group The Hives, or perhaps Saliva.
I'm locked in.
I'll lock in.
All right, we're going to go question by question through this, get our answers, and get ourselves a winner. Starting with question number 1, your category was in geography. What country, named for a Venezuelan leader during the Spanish-American Wars for Independence, is the largest landlocked country in the Southern Hemisphere? Mike, your answer and your wager.
Well, I kind of went against character on this one. I think I was riding the high of actually getting all 5 in the halftime, but I actually wagered points on a geography question. I wagered 10, and I actually feel okay about this. I locked in with Bolivia.
Carmela, your answer and your wager.
I also locked in with 10 points. And funny enough, I also locked in with Bolivia.
Name for Simone
Bolivar.
Mm-hmm.
Simone Bolivar. Bolivia is a correct answer. You're both going to pick up 10 points. It's still a 2-point lead for Mike, 62-60. Going into question number 2, the category was sports. And real quick, I'm going to give a shout out because question number 2 and question number 3, you can tell were not written by me. They were written by someone with a much better, bigger vocabulary and a much better trivia writer. That is the one, the only Jay Borsum. These questions will come up on a future episode or a future version of, you know what it is. Say it.
WTF?
Yeah.
Ooh.
World Trivia Federation. These will be coming up in the next couple of quizzes. So y'all get a little bit of a sneak peek here.
I guess, yeah, freebies. All right.
Jay very kindly was able to throw us a couple of questions here. And what I'm going to do is throw her a little publicity here because for $2 a month, you can get access to the World Trivia Federation through Liquid Courage. And it is legitimately fun trivia.
Yeah.
As you'll be evidenced by these questions that I butcher while reading, but they're phenomenal. So go support the hardest, I call her the hardest working woman in trivia, Carmela. That is no disrespect to you.
Oh, no, she works way harder than I do. No fight for me on that one.
That woman busts her ass just to bring out good trivia content. And also her show Verboten here on the PTE network is phenomenal. Question number 2, category was sports. With an impressive professional record of 107, 6-2 with 86 knockouts, what boxer who competed as a super featherweight, lightweight, light welterweight, and welterweight has the most wins among Mexican athletes in the International Boxing Hall of Fame? Any resemblance to an American labor leader is purely coincidental. Carmela, what was your answer and your wager?
So, sports is not my strongest suit. So I
The
very
pregame would beg to differ.
conservatively. I'm sorry, what?
Pre-game would beg to differ.
Oh,
That's true.
that was just picking between states. I know where states are. So I did wager 0. So not a whole lot of stakes in this, but I did try to come up with at least a funny name. And I think this is Punchy Hoffa.
I love it.
Oh my god,
That's great.
we have so many episode titles to choose from.
I know.
No disrespect for this accomplishment that this athlete achieved, but I don't know. So it's Punchy Hoffa to me.
I love that. Mike, your answer and your wager.
Well, of these 3 categories, sports was the one, even though as broad as it is, it was the one that I felt the most confident about. And then you started going boxing, and I went, fuck. But then it took me a little while, but I eventually worked my way around. I just went Jeopardy rules and locked in with Chavez. But I believe it was Julio Cesar Chavez.
Jeopardy rules worked, but it was Julio Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
So, Mike, you're going to pick up the points. What was your wager there again?
Oh, sorry. I thought I said 22.
You might have.
wow.
I just like hearing you talk.
No, I think I missed actually saying what I wagered. I think you're right. But I had 22 on that one.
That is a correct answer. That means, Mike, you're going to now have a 84-60 lead going into the final question.
Oh, it's
The
about
category was musicals. The songs 3090, Johnny Can't Decide, Therapy, and Louder Than Words are all found in what musical by Jonathan Larson of Rent fame, presented as a film in 2021 starring Andrew Garfield and directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda? There is no evidence to suggest the musical was an inspiration of any kind for the Swedish rock group The Hives, or perhaps Saliva. Mike, your answer and your wager.
I felt okay about musicals. I don't know why, but I wagered 16 on this one. And as noted, I kind of started pulling more on the second half of it. The Hives, I can only really name the song, the one song, Hate to Say I Told You So. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't it. Saliva, I started going through songs. And I honestly, in my head, it first popped in as a joke. Like, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not Click, Click, Boom. And then I'm like, actually, that's tickling something. So I locked in with Click, Click, Boom.
Carmela, your answer. Oh, hold on, Mike. What was your wager?
16.
And Carmela, your answer and your wager.
I wagered 15. And I actually know both of these songs by Saliva and by the Hives. But the movie and the musical is called Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yep. That's why it was tickling something, but I wasn't quite there.
Tick, Tick, Boom is a correct answer. And just like that, Carmela pulls out the win in the wager round. Nicely
Nice job,
done, my friend. Nice
job.
done.
I was so close. Like I was like, oh,
So
it is,
right.
it is
when
like
you said
there.
click, click, Boom, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I didn't go the extra. That I knew it tickled something, but I didn't.
Yeah, you were
I didn't
definitely on
take.
the right track.
I didn't take an extra breath to go. Wait a minute, that wasn't quite it. Yeah.
For
No,
what it's
great
worth,
game.
I have heard Tick, Tick, Boom. The play is, or the musical is amazing. I have
Yeah.
not seen the Andrew Garfield version of it though, but it's on the short list now.
Yeah.
Well, Carmela, you teased us at the beginning of the episode. Is now a good time to share what you've been working on?
Oh, sure. So I've been for about a year now. Been working with Liz Thaler, who you may have heard on some. She's been on Trivial Warfare a few times. She's definitely been on my show. But she was a theater director in a previous life, and she wanted to know if I wanted to do a actual play podcast with her, and I said, hell yeah. So Daggerheart, which is a new gaming system that, as of recording, comes out in 5 days. But starting last fall, we actually started recording an actual play podcast based on the system. It's called Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire. I am one of the players. Liz is DMing. And we got 3 wonderful theater actors who are friends, and we're having a great time. And it's the middle of May when we're recording this. It will be out by the end of this month. So if you go to hagdealgaming.com, you'll be able to see how to listen to that show. If you are into Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing games, or just listening to a bunch of people tell a story with dice, the nerds in the trivia community and the nerds in the RPG community, it's damn near a circle. So come give it a listen. And yeah, if you go to hagdealgaming.com, you can check it out there.
That's not really much of a Venn diagram as much as it's just like one giant circle. So
yeah, it's damn near a circle.
I'm genuinely looking forward to listening to that. I am not a huge D&D fan. The one time we played it, our recording went over 5 hours, and I had a pissed off wife.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh yeah,
that will happen.
I remember when y'all did that, and I remember thinking, like, really, you're gonna try and record a D&D session live? Like, that's gonna be really interesting. Editing nightmare.
I am the primary editor for our show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of editing. So I don't doubt that you went 5 hours over. I think our first session was about 5 hours. So
yeah, I believe it.
It won't be 5 hours in the recording. I did edit it way down, but so we have a cohesive story. But it's a lot of fun. The other 3 players, it was the first time I'd met any of them. They were all friends of Liz's. They're all wonderful people. They're amazing actors. I was a little intimidated, but they're so wonderful. And the characters we created were really fun, and the story's really interesting and fun. And it's a brand new gaming system, so I was all over it.
Oh, I'm so jealous. That does sound like a freaking blast.
Yeah. And it's my first non-trivia venture in the podcast space. So
yeah, there you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I can't speak for our listeners, but you got a listener here. I can't wait.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I will try and remember to drop all the links in the show notes. I'm sure Carmela won't let me forget, but check the show notes. The information will be there. Listen, if you enjoy the antics that we get into here on the PTE network, and you want to support us, the best place to do that is on Patreon, patreon.com/PTEBB. We are so damn close, y'all. So close to being able to pay for an editor for the major not the major shows, that sounds terrible, like the original 4 shows here on the PT network.
Your core shows.
Yeah, but I don't want to say core because like everyone else, but these are the shows that have been around the longest.
Flagships.
The flagship. That's the word. Yeah. Yep.
We're workshopping here live on the recording.
Here we go.
Wait, we're bringing back recast that? What?
We don't talk about that, Mike.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
If you are a fan of movies and you want to hear a couple of idiots talk about recasting some of their favorites, all the episodes of Recast that you can't find anywhere except on our Patreon. They're there.
That's right. That's right.
But check the show notes for all of our information, for the information regarding Carmela's new project. It's all there. I still am a little bit bewildered by the fact that you all listen to us on a regular basis, and I can't believe this, but it genuinely means the world to me. So thank you all for continuing to engage with us. If you want to check out how to engage with us a little bit more, show notes, Discord server, the Facebook group, it's all there. But you know what? You heard enough of me talking tonight. For the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Mike.
And I'm Carmela.
We'll see you all next week. Until then, have a good one.